Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video review. This time we're talking about the Star Wars The Black Series, The Clone Wars, Ahsoka Tano, and the other 3 figures that have been shown. This is very exciting as it is the first time the Black Series has actually dipped their toe in the Clone Wars series. And with that, they're relying heavily on Season 7. So they're going all Season 7 figures from what we have so far, really hoping that there's more. I feel like I saw an announcement for Darth Maul at one point as a part of these figures, because most of them were teased before. Maybe I'm crazy, but I could swear there was a Darth Maul. And considering these are all, very much from the same type of scene, almost the same, strand of episodes, I am shocked that we haven't seen a Darth Maul yet. But let's get into it. Let's talk about the figures. So we have Ahsoka. We have a clone trooper, specifically in kind of the 332nd Ahsoka's kind of version of them with the newly painted helmets. A Mandalorian Loyalist, as well as a Mandalorian Super Commando. So it's basically, if you didn't see Season 7 yet, or even the big storyline with Darth Maul and Mandalore in the original Clone Wars before they bought it back, Mandalore is kind of split between the loyalists who are, still loyal to Mandalore and their original virtues, which is this one. It's the more standard-looking Mandalorian, and then the ones that are siding more with Darth Maul and his rule. So we have this version of him. So very cool. 4 good figures, 3 of them, heavy army building ones, and then one that we've all been really wanting, being Ahsoka. So overall, the Ahsoka figure, first of all, the packaging, really like this new style packaging. It's awesome. I think it looks really good. I like the artwork on the sides, although that artwork is so movie-like. It doesn't look anything like the Clone Wars. And that's one of my biggest issues with these figures, all 4 of them, with the exception of maybe the Clone Trooper. But they all have a bit more of a movie look than I personally like, especially when it comes to the 2 Mandalore figures. They look very movie-like. I don't know. They have, I guess, and I think it's because they have a little too much detail, to be honest, which it's odd that almost seems like a bad thing, but they've really added a lot of wrinkles, and they've added wear and tear to some of the pieces on it, which give it a nice look, but almost more of a movie look than a Clone Wars look. If I hadn't seen the Clone Wars, I would think that this is a movie figure, especially this one. If you told me that this was from the Mandalorian live-action show from Disney Plus, I would completely believe you. It looks just like it. So it's surprising to me that this is supposed to be like the animated look of him. I think that they kind of went too movie-like, especially with their proportions too. They have Clone Wars characters have very skinny proportions, and they're just a little more simplistic, especially when it comes to the wrinkles and stuff. They nailed it when they were doing this line in 3 3/4, but they've seemed to gone very movie-like. The clone is the one that I think that works. That can kind of be the show, I think, just because even movie, they have simplistic designs, so it fits for the Clone Wars. Back to Ahsoka, though, because this is the one I want to talk about the most. Here's a bit of a comparison. So I think that she does have more of a movie look than I'd prefer. When it comes to the face sculpt itself, I think it's okay. Not great, though. I really don't think it's great. Looking at it, it has a... when it just comes down to the face, it doesn't look too much like live action, but it doesn't look like Clone Wars. That looks more Rebels to me, in my opinion. It just looks really odd. Her nose is way too big, and it's an odd design. I'm really kind of disappointed with it, to be honest. And then here's a perfect example of what I mean between the Clone Wars designs versus the designs that they're coming out with, is just her shirt over here. It's 100% clean. The Clone Wars has very simplistic animation. It's 100% clean. There's not a single wrinkle in it. And this figure, they added wrinkles, which is more lifelike, but that's not what we're going for here. We're going for an animated character. So I wish that they would have taken that out and also slimmed down the waist or broadened the shoulders just to give you that kind of V formation that the animated one strikes. But unfortunately, they've gone... It's weird. They're taking these animated characters and basically giving you movie designs of them for figures. I think it's odd. I'm not a big fan of it. But her clothes I do like. The design is nice of them. I like her new look a lot in Season 7. So I'm glad the Ahsoka that we're getting is Season 7. But again, I think that the face sculpt isn't great, although it does look animated. It doesn't really look like the animated character that I'm going for. And then the body looks good too, but it's very much movie-like and not animated, unfortunately. But I do really want this one. I want, a Clone Wars representation of Ahsoka. So I have pre-ordered this one. As you can see, they're all on pre-order through Walmart.com at $25 a piece, which it feels like Hasbro's taken the step and doing the transition here between 20 and 25. They kind of stepped their toe in it when they did that with the 10th anniversary MCU line. They had all of those figures priced at $25, and now they're starting to do it a little more often. We had the most recent X-Men movie figures put on pre-order. Those were all $25, and now we're at Clone Wars, version of Star Wars figures that are at $25. They're basically saying right now that if it's from a special series, even though you're not getting any more with it, but if it's from a special series, they're charging $25. So mark my words, probably by the end of the year, they'll fully transition for next year, and everything will be $25 normal. I think that they're rolling it out slowly and hoping that people won't notice as much as if they consider it like, well, this is a special series. But I guarantee you they're moving to $25, which is disappointing. I think $25 really pushes the envelope for what these things are worth. The clone, I think, looks nice. Obviously, it's a great army builder. It's a shame that you can't take his helmet off, but, this isn't supposed to be like a particular clone trooper. It's just supposed to be a general one, so it's not the end of the world. And he has the kind of Ahsoka homage face paint on the helmet, which I think is really cool. The Mandalorian, again, has very much a movie look. This would totally work good in your display if you want some Mandalorians with the Mandalore from that TV show. I think that would work great. But nonetheless, it looks like a good figure, of course. It looks like there might even be some pieces reused from Django. The legs, I really don't see anything new. Obviously, if I compared them, it probably would be new. To be honest, I think that the holsters are probably not like that on Django. I'd have to take a look. But knees down, it looks the same, even with the too small feet. Django had that issue where his feet are a little too small. This one carries it over. His feet are just a little too small. It makes him just a little awkward to stand. He can still stand, but he's just a little awkward at it. So that's disappointing. And then the Mandalorian Super Commando, basically Darth Maul's Mandalorian. I think that he looks really cool. Obviously, this one, it's very similar to the previous Mandalorian. Trying to tell if the wrist pieces are different. The wrist pieces might be different. It's a little hard to tell, though. No, the wrist pieces are different. Yeah, they definitely have a different design. So, different wrist pieces. The chest looks the same. Yeah, it looks like, so what I believe at least is that between these two Mandalorian figures, the body and legs are exactly the same, arms are different, and then the helmets, of course, are different. Jetpacks are probably the same too. Overall, he looks cool, though. I mean, I like Mandalorians and I like Darth Maul, so putting them together, I do like it. I'm certainly very much intrigued, at least. So as far as the pre-orders go on these, as you can see, the Mandalorian Super Commando, the Mandalorian Loyalist, and the Clone Trooper are all still available for pre-order. Ahsoka is not. Now, when I pulled up this page to do this video, she was in stock, and I questioned it because she sold out early this morning. So I quick added it to the cart just to see if it would actually go, and it did, and it said one left. So I'm not sure if they're just getting restocks of her throughout the day and they're just selling out, or maybe somebody canceled an order. I'm not sure, but you might want to just keep a lookout, and you might get lucky and grab it when it comes available. These sold out quite fast, though. I think that when they were first put up, they actually didn't have any pictures. When they went live, though, where you could order them, and they all sold out within like 20 minutes, I think. Now, obviously, since then, though, these three have come back. And Ahsoka, she might have come back and just sold out again, I'm not sure, but right now, she's currently the only one that's still considered sold out. This is going to be a popular series, though. Who doesn't like the Clone Wars? We're long overdue for figures in this scale for the Clone Wars as well. And then they picked just your perfect, collector style characters to do. Ahsoka, which we all want, and then 3 army build figures, and 2 of them being from the hottest type of race or what do you consider them? Religion of the Star Wars right now, with the Mandalorian show being so hot. It's just they picked really good figures to release, because a lot of people are going to army build these three, and then everybody's got to have an Ahsoka. So I did pre-order some of these. I pre-ordered Ahsoka and both Mandalorians. I skipped the Clone Trooper. I just don't really have much of a need for him. Ahsoka I really want, of course, and then the two Mandalorians I think look great and are going to be popular figures, I think. So yeah, hopefully they do Darth Maul. I thought that he was rumored. I'm certainly hoping that they do him to pose with her. Darth Maul has a very animated look, so if they take him, that design, and like make it movie-ish, but in those same clothes and stuff, I'll be very disappointed though. But Cad Bane is strongly rumored, and there's actually which one is it? Hold on one second. I think it's the Clone Trooper. Nope. Is it the Mandalorian? Nope. It must be this Mandalorian. Yeah, so some people are speculating that little corner there, because these boxes, if you line them up, it's one big picture. So a lot of people are speculating that this little corner is the brim of a Cad Bane signature cowboy hat. So very excited to actually see that figure. That's going to be a must-have. But hopefully they continue the Clone Wars line, just with some figures. Even if they're just doing it for Season 7, I'd be very happy with that. Darth Maul, Anakin, Obi-Wan, Cad Bane. Well, I guess they can't just be doing Season 7 since Cad Bane wasn't in it. But nonetheless, even if they just do a couple more, I'd be quite happy. Again, though, I would much prefer animated style versions of these, so I'm disappointed that that's not the case. Nonetheless, though, these look like pretty good figures, although not exactly what I'm looking for. Figure-wise themselves, they do look quite nice, and I am looking forward to them. Very disappointed with the price point, though. I think that the price point is definitely more than they're worth, considering there's nothing new or special. There's no additional detail with them, as opposed to any other Black Series figure, and of course they're at a premium, so that's disappointing. But let me know what you guys think of these new Star Wars The Black Series Clone Wars figures. Let me know what you guys pre-ordered any of them, and thanks so much for watching.